Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, and forever. Amen.
This is Chris Akers, head football coach of your Gate City Blue Devils, and you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be and however you may be listening to us. Thank you for making us a part of your Tuesday night. This is Joe Carter along with Rob Ferguson, and we are here, the 2018 Blue Devil Football Preview Show. Ladies and gentlemen, football season is here in the state of Virginia. Finally, thank goodness for the little things in life. So, with that being said, we are broadcasting live. Actually, we're not in the studio anymore. We're on the road, and we are here live at the Campus Drive-In. Yes, folks, you know where the Campus Drive-In is. It's here on Kane Street, about 200 yards away from Gate City High School, about 250 yards away from Legion Field, home of the 5-time state champions. They've won them, and looking for big things coming up in 2018 and into the future. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do coming up. We've got a very special guest to start the show. Then we're going to start breaking down the season. We're going to take a look at Gate City's football schedule. We're going to talk about each of the individual teams, how we think they'll do and how they'll match up. Then we're going to take a look at Northeast Tennessee as well as Southwest Virginia. Again, it's going to be a great night, so sit back, relax, wherever you are. And again, thank you for tuning in to our show. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, here he is. The man, the myth, the legend. He's been on the sidelines now. This will be his third season here at Gate City High School. We couldn't be prouder. Again, we've got Coach Chris Akers here at the Campus Drive-In in Gate City. Coach, thank you for taking a few minutes with us here tonight.
Thanks for having me,
guys. Before we jump into the season, let's talk a little bit about the preseason. Talk about this year's preseason. What are some of the positive things that came out of the preseason, and some of the things maybe you still need to work on as you tweak and get into the season?
We really consider our preseason the Monday right after our last game of the season last year. So we started this thing last winter and spring and summer. So it's really a long preseason. Our kids put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. I think a lot of people don't realize what it takes to be a high school football player these days. It's not just showing up in August, but it's all the weight room in the winter and the spring and the summer that's involved in it. So, any kid that you see out there on Friday night, they really deserve a lot of praise because it's a tough thing to do as a young kid.
And I know that especially over the last few years, the benefit games and scrimmages have kind of been a little bit overhyped, if you will. I mean, there's a lot of importance put on them, and what is your mindset with what do you want to get out of those kind of games? I mean, some are playing for the win, some are playing to play kids and try to get experience and maybe show some things offensively and defensively. What's your take on benefit games and scrimmages and what you wanted to get out of them?
Obviously we want our kids to perform well in those benefit games and scrimmages, but we don't take a lot of stock in those games. We like to see all of our kids play. We like to evaluate all of our kids. And, some kids will step up to the occasion. So you got to give everybody a chance and an opportunity. That's what we really want to see. We want to see people being competitive. We want to see kids flying around. And at the end of the day, like most coaches, we don't like to show a whole lot. We like to be vanilla and save a lot of our things for our first game.
I know this. As you go through a preseason, you start getting some nicks and some injuries, and how is your overall conditioning as a team? I guess first of all, and then like I said, your health as of the team. Secondly,
it's a fine line. I think every head coach fights this battle. It's a fine line between staying healthy and staying physical at the same time. So we do like to keep all of our kids healthy as they can be, especially during the week, during the practice week. At the end of the day, you have to be physical at the same time. So it's kind of a fine line that you have, and we have to be healthy and we hope to be healthy each week, so we try to do everything that we can to be preventative as far as our health is concerned.
Now, coming out, preseason, usually there's a couple of kids maybe that, come out of nowhere. They sort of surprise you. They've come along a little bit farther. Who are a couple of your players that really have stood out in the preseason as we get ready again for Richlands coming up?
I think when you look at improvement, you got to look at all of our kids. I just don't think you can single out one kid for improvement. I think that a lot of our kids were young last year and maybe were playing in situations they might not have been ready for at the time. But you see a big jump, especially in young kids from one year to another. So it's nice and it's great to see as a coach when you see a kid that's just improved from one year to the other so much. But as far as one kid just pointing them out, we have a bunch of kids that have just made a pull up improvement and strides from last season.
Now, the point has been made that you all played such a tough schedule. Last year, 8 of the 10 teams on your schedule went on into the VHSL and actually did the PowerPoint comparisons. You all played the toughest schedule in 2A. Do you feel that has got your team a little bit better prepared this year? Again, you were so young and had so many injuries last year. How do you feel that experience will play into this year?
I always think it helps you when you play better competition in the long run. My thought process has always kind of been, if we're not good enough to beat those teams during the regular season, we probably don't deserve to go to the playoffs. So you have to look at it that way. And these kids, they know what to expect. I think they've been battle tested. We know our schedule's tough, but we don't look down the road. It's day by day, it's minute by minute. And we're solely focused on Richlands right now.
Of course, last question about last year will be, a lot of ball games you all were toe-to-toe, in the ball games, but maybe just a fumble here or an interception there or a penalty or something. How do you cope with that? How do you prevent that this go around in terms of just that one thing that maybe turns the tide? I know Richlands last year, you all were neck and neck with them, and maybe a turnover right before halftime, and they scored quick, and it was kind of Katie bar the door after that.
Yeah, it's one thing that we try to teach our kids is that we have to be fundamentally sound. That's one thing that we've been working on in the preseason, is just our fundamentals. We have to hang on to the football. We have to be solid on all 3 phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. And if you're not, you're not going to win those big games. So obviously, we need to clean up some things. And we made some mistakes in the benefit game, and I hope that it stays the benefit game and they don't show up this Friday night.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk about coming up. We got Richlands. What have you seen on tape with them? Talk a little bit about Richlands, some of the players, some of the things that you all are having prepared for, again, for Friday night's matchup.
The thing that you always have to realize with Richlands is they're going to be fundamentally sound. They're well coached. Their kids give maximum effort. That's the first thing that you see with Richlands. There's very little room for error with them. If you're going to make a mistake, they'll capitalize on it. So we know it to be solid in all 3 phases again. They have a quarterback who was a senior, and he started the last part of the season for them, and really is kind of their leader. They have a pretty decent offensive front. There's some guys that have returned. I know they've had some injuries in the preseason, but I think they're getting all those guys back for Friday night. And they got two receivers, 2 split ends that are tall, they're fast, they're physical, and they're going to make plays. And every scrimmage that we've seen, they've caught big passes for big plays, so we have to eliminate the big plays. And, if it's not for them, you have 2 slot receivers that are very, very quick and get things done out in open space too, that you have to be worried about. Their run game is, their tailback is the Brown kid who started at quarterback for them last year against us. So they transitioned him to running back, and he's tough and he's kind of battle tested. So defensively they are they're mostly what we've seen of them in the past. They're very fundamentally sound. They tackle real well, and they're not going to make a whole lot of mistakes. Special teams, they got one of the best kickers in Southwest Virginia. If not the best place to do. He's going to kick the ball in the end zone every time. And, he can kick field goals from a long distance. So they're a very good football team. They're a very good football team, as expected. They like to play really well Friday night.
So that leads into the next question. For Gate City to win Friday night, blank has to happen. Fill in the blank.
Again, we have to be fundamentally sound. We have to be fundamentally sound. We have to play with some passion. I think if we do those two types of things, and we'll be in the ball game, we'll see what happens. But I'm excited about Friday night. I have faith in our kids. I think our kids are excited about Friday night, and it's going to be here. We're excited about that. Like you said, the last 2 years. 2 years ago, we played them in the first half, and the wheels kind of fell off in the second half. And last year, I think we played them toe-to-toe for 3 quarters at their place. So we just hope to bring a whole lot of energy, and we hope to eliminate mistakes, and we hope that they make mistakes.
Talking about the excitement of, and again, a lot of people are so excited about this season. 4 of the first 6 are at home, and you've got some teams coming in. What's your thoughts on that on a high school level? Do you believe in the home field advantage and, the familiarity? I guess that's the way you say it. But anyway, what do you think that's going to be an advantage, especially with your squad coming back?
Yeah, and I think it makes a big difference here in Gate City. Here more than any place that we play. Our crowd does a really good job backing our kids. And, when Legion Field's packed, and there's 5,000 people on the fence, and it's an awesome place to be, awesome atmosphere, and on the other flip of the coin for our visitors, it's not a place that you want to come, and that's not a place that you want to come. It's a hostile atmosphere. So we feed off our crowd, and we think that we have the best fans in the nation. So we're excited about being at home Friday night, and anytime you don't have to jump on the bus and go from one place to another, it's always a bonus.
Home openers in Southwest Virginia since 2014. The home team has won 60.4% of the time. Just a little bit of trivia out there for everybody. I'm one of those kind of guys. But anyway, so no pressure on you, Coach. But it's coming. As a whole, which we're going to talk about this a little bit. We'll let you go here in just a few minutes. But we're going to look at your schedule and look at the district. Talk about the district this year. Of course, it's. You've seen Union year in, year out. Of course, Mitchell gone. They've got a lot of kids graduated. Ridgeview kind of on the swing up now. Battle and Lee. So talk a little bit about the district just itself.
It's hard to tell this early in the season, but I do know that a lot of teams in our district are losing a lot of seniors. Adam was heavily senior oriented. I know Union was heavily senior oriented. You just don't know from one kid to another. The kid from Ridgeview is getting a lot of looks from the running back from Ridgeview. He gets some major college looks, and we know he's a good football player. But they had a solid team around him last year, and they're going to be returning a lot of kids. And when they Mitchell's gone from finally, they got some kids that played last year in that situations that going to step in and do a good job for them. Lee was much improved last year. And Central, they kind of the same boat we were in last year, a lot of injuries, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, they've got a lot of course, we'll get into that here in a little bit, but yeah, some serious rebuilding, but also a lot of serious talent. It's the Mountain 7 is always, there's no given anymore. So yeah, that's you're exactly right. So for this year to be a success, what has to happen? At the end of the season, you look back and you say, this was a successful football season. What has to happen for you to consider it to be a complete season, or at least a success?
Success is a weird word. It's hard to describe success. I just want our kids to play hard and play with emotion. That's what I want. If we do that, then I think the wins will come. If our kids play hard and believe in themselves, I think that the wins will come for us. But again, with us, it's week by week. It's day by day with us, and you can't look down the road and look at the schedule and think that you have this person coming up next. So I think that this team is going to be successful this year. I believe in this team. Like I said, they put in the time, they put in the work, and they're doing things right. So I have a lot of faith in this group.
Good deal. Now, sort of changed a little bit.